Girls, how you doing? Let's do another pick a card, and today is going to be what's happening. I like to do that at the beginning of the week, just to have a flavor, what's cooking, something like that. It's all about food. So let's do 2 pounds. Let's try not to be triggered. Let's stay cool. It's just tarot, as I always say. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2. So pound number 1, what's happening? 7 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. Right, okay, that's a bit typical of the 10 of Pentacles here. Normally you meet, you recognize each other, and that could be either as a relationship or even in business. You recognize a potential, and then there's a period of no communication, and that could be related to that one. I will explain. And then during that time, when you don't communicate, you kind of grow and learn by yourself. You need to be separated in order to do that increase of knowledge, and then you can reconnect and become a power couple, and do some business or really co-create some form of abundance, and that can be bambinos and bambinas, right? So there is an idea of progression in such a level is absolutely stunning. You are the dream team as a result, but you needed that time apart to learn, and to learn about yourself, to learn about business, to learn about whatever, and then when you have increased that knowledge, you can come back stronger than ever. The reason why you may have not been in contact is because someone was running away from the truth, running away altogether, running away with the money. I don't know, something went really wrong, and as a result you cover your heart because you don't know if you can trust that person. How can you rebuild the trust when you have a crack in a wall? You will still, have that crack in a wall, even if you cover it with some plaster or whatever you cover it. Very DIY. You know what I mean? The crack is still there. So as a result, you cover your heart. Why would I trust that person again? Why make me believe that I'm gonna, give a second chance, or third one, or fourth one? I mean, if you do second, that's fine. Second chance is fine, but third, no. not in my life. No way. Anyhow, what can I say? The thing is, during that time, you realize that they've done some healing because they tackled a very deep issue. It could be a trauma from childhood. It could be a karmic relationship they had in the past, and they needed to recover. And when they met you, they were not completely recovered. As a result, that can explain maybe their behavior. What makes you maybe uncover the heart and give a second chance is because you can see the depth of the work they've achieved, and you realize, well, yeah, okay, fair enough. And also there could have been a karma debt that needed to pay off, so there's not much they could do anyway. It was supposed to happen that way. It was written. Doesn't excuse everything, but you can understand better why they behaved the way they did. So because you see the level of work they've done, because to do that healing, it takes a lot of courage. It's not easy, okay? A lot of people prefer not to do that work and put everything under the carpet and live a very magnolia life. Nothing wrong with magnolia, not my cup of tea, but you know what? Everyone is different. But when you do a 4 sword, you go deep and you really, really go for it. Okay, so because you see the level of commitment to their healing, you will give them a second chance. And of course, because there's a bit of vavavoom going on, that might explain certain things. Yes, indeed, a lot of chemistry between you two. Oh boy. But at the same time, it's a bit tormented, conflicted, and of course, you understand why. Okay? But you go for it. This one is coming out a lot at the moment. Taking a leap of faith, going for it. We don't really know how to make it work, but we go for it anyway. We jump off that cliff, not literally, but we go for it because you also think, well, you know what, at the end of the day, there's a lot of positive in this relationship, even though, it's been a bit funny, but now at least we are aware of this. And if it's a business connection, you may say, well, we've seen the worst now, so we can only have the best, so let's go for it anyway, okay? So in my opinion, you're going for it, and that's quite special. And because you've been through the worst, you're kind of prepared, your connection is stronger because you had to fight to make it work, okay? So that's probably better. So let's have a major arcana for what's happening, part 1. the Fool. When I say that, we see that a lot at the moment. Here we go. Okay, and also someone's realizing I was a fool. I should have not run away, the way I did, or not, saying the full truth. I was an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do this again. I learned my lesson. Okay, so that can also be that way, but it's also, and very much so, going for it this time. Beautiful. So I love this very much. Okay, so let's go. Pile number 2. What's happening? Excuse me. George is here. Queen of Swords. Strength, 2 of Cups. Wow. What's happening is you may have cut off somebody. Oh my God, you cut it off, and big time. The Queen of Swords, male, female, doesn't matter. Is a lady of justice, the way we call it. Give a lot of chances, but then there's a point where, oh boy, you really did that. Oh my goodness. So one time too many, and that was it. Oof. So, as a result, that person had to be stronger than ever, because a weakness took them the wrong path with you, and as a result, you kind of kicked their butt in some ways. But they had to rethink. I don't want to lose this person. I have to build my stamina. I have to build my strengths. I have to understand what am I all about. As a result, we have reconciliation. Or we have a partnership if it's about business, maybe something went wrong, yes, indeed, but at the same time, now we are in equal part, 50-50, we clear cut, we don't fluff around. It comes from the heart. It's real. It's very nice. Okay, so yeah, it's meant to be as well, so we may as well go for it. It's fated. But it's all about balancing those little jars, you see? It's balancing the emotion. Yes, we are fated. Nice, but let's not do anything and everything just because we're fated. No, you have to still behave a certain way. You have to say the truth. You have to stop fluffing around and all the shebang, right? It's not because you fated that you can do anything and everything. No, you have a certain way to behave. George is definitely here. As a result, you have a wish granted. Maybe you need to meet up, have maybe a cup of tea together, have a face-to-face. That's what is important. Technology is not going to cut it. People stop doing the WhatsApp thing, spying on each other. Go and meet each other. Is that complicated? Unless you long-distance communication, why are you fluffing around? Have a proper face-to-face, because then when you meet, you see, you feel the vibe, you feel the physicality, the body language, and all of that. On technology, you may misunderstand, somebody's using one word, whatever. This is the beginning of the mess. So stop doing that and meet, right? Okay, so pile number 2, what's happening with the major arcana? Seriously, the world, yeah. It could be traveling in order to meet up and be face to face. It's about entering a new phase. Let's make it happen. Just because it's fated, we're not going to do anything and everything. We have to do things properly. Let's start from scratch, but this time properly. The world is traveling, is a lot on the web. So stop being on the web, stop being on the internet, do things properly face to face. And I think your relationship or your business will get much better. I can guarantee you that. Okay? So on this note, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Ciao.